Just like backstroke, there's a specific window of when the freestyle catch happens. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly when that occurs. Hey swimmers, welcome back to the Swim Vibes channel. I'm Coach Mandy, and today's quick tip video is on the freestyle catch, specifically on when it occurs and why it's important within that small window versus it being too late. Now, before I get started, if you are new to the channel or you've been watching my content, be sure to hit the subscribe button below. That way you stay notified for new and exciting content weekly, and you show your support for the channel. All right, let's get into detail of when the catch occurs. Okay, swimmers, so in this forward view, I'm going to slow it down and break down exactly when the freestyle catch occurs. So in this video, right as my left hand has entered the water, I'm already initiating the catch. So you can see here that there's a bend in my right elbow. My palm is facing to the opposite wall, and I'm staying within my lane. There is no dropped elbow, and what I mean by that is my elbow is lower than my hand. Again, you can see here later on in the phase of the catch that the arm, forearm, and hand are still perpendicular to the ground and are within that same lane, which continues as you press back. But most importantly, it's how it is initiated, which was from the opposite hand entering at the same time. That's when the catch starts. Then from there, once the catch occurs, your arm will travel back on the same lane. So there's no veering under your stomach or too lateral, because that would put too much force or strain on your shoulder. You can even see from this angle, looking at my right arm, is that the catch will happen right as my left arm enters. So right here, you can see it again, that my elbow stays higher than my hand. It's not dropped, meaning my elbow being lower than my hand position. So it's almost like I'm hugging or holding a ball of water. And then once I'm in that position, I'm going to gently press back on the same lane. Again, not letting the hand veer in or out laterally. That would put too much stress on my shoulder. At this time, this path is easy on the shoulders, and you're able to get a lot of power pressing back. And it isn't from the shoulders, it's actually from your back. Also, from this forward view, you can see that my left arm is initiating the catch as my right hand enters. Both arms are still in front of me. This ensures that I do not drop the elbow. If the arm slips and the elbow drops, my arm would be moving way behind me before my right hand would even enter the water. It would happen too soon. So essentially what would happen is if that catch were lost, I'm just slipping in the water. So my turnover is higher, I'm expending more energy, but I'm not necessarily getting as much catch as I can. And the overall objective is to hold as much water. And when that happens, you can see that my elbow's bent and it's within the line, as you see in this next freeze frame. There's no veering under my stomach or laterally away. It's still maintaining on the same line until the release point. So again, following on that point of staying within your lanes, you can see here that even though this is not at a point of the catch, both arms are still maintaining their own lane. They aren't veering over or crossing over. And that will set you up to be able to form the catch at the right time and also to complete it within the correct path. And when the arms are within their own lane, there's no stress on your shoulder. If anything, you have much more strength from your core, and also you get an easier breath, as you see here in this freeze frame. Even if I'm breathing, the lanes still are maintained. Nothing changes, nothing deviates, it stays consistent on every stroke. And because of that, you actually have more time to be able to breathe. Whether you breathe on twos or further out, it still maintains the same form, and you will also feel a continuous glide as you complete the breath. So it doesn't feel different than your non-breathing strokes. Here from the side view underwater, you can see the high elbow catch happen right as my left arm has entered and extended, and you see the high elbow. My right elbow is higher than my hand. Picture I'm holding an imaginary ball of water, so I'm getting as much catch as I can possibly get or form in front of my head, and now I'm positioned to be able to press back. Absolutely no slipping. The elbow does not drop, and I'm not forcing it from the shoulder. Here it is again from that timing of, in this case, my right arm has entered the water and I have formed the catch on my left side. You still see that my elbow is higher than my hand. My forearm and hand are perpendicular to the ground, pressing back, or in my palm is facing to the opposite wall. That is how I know and I feel that I'm actually getting as much hold as possible and there is no slipping whatsoever. And lastly, from this perspective, you can see that how I do not slip or my elbow does not drop is due to staying within my lanes and focusing on holding the catch out front, meaning in front of my head. To show you again in freeze frame what I'm talking about is that as my opposite arm or hand enters, I am forming the catch as you see here. Now, from this perspective, you may not see the full catch, but it's just formed as you saw in the previous videos. What happens is I start to hold the water in front of my head. This is how I know I get as much catch as possible, and I'm positioned to be able to press back within the lane. I'm not veering under my stomach. So right here, you can see that I'm still staying within that lane. My elbow is higher than my hand, and I am gently pressing back from my whole arm, my whole forearm and hand, not just the hand itself, until the release point, and it's again away from my body. It does not cause any twisting, over rotation, or anything that's going to throw off my body line. It's going to maintain on that same point where there's no pulling back, twisting, crossing over, anything that's going to veer over. The tricky point with the catch is it's a very small window, and if you miss it, you don't get as much hold as you can. However, once you understand when it happens, it's one step closer to be able to execute it properly. Okay, swimmers, I hope this quick tip video was helpful on understanding when the catch occurs. Now, if you're watching this and you want to learn and execute a freestyle catch properly, hit the pinned comments below and access my Swim Vice program today. Specifically on the speed program, I have a detailed drill progression on how to execute a freestyle catch. Also, other digital courses on other strokes and so much more. You can go to swimvice.com for more resources to help with your swim training. All right, swimmers, enjoy your practice, and I will see you all next week.